she hates me because I'm the daughter of the man she loves. Sophia is on her knees on the cold kitchen floor of the mansion, scrubbing it with her bare hands, which are bleeding from the labor. Her fingers are bruised purple, her nails shattered, her skin raw and red from the harsh chemicals. The camera pans to the clock on the wall, 3 a.m. She weeps silently, trying to muffle her choked sobs so as not to wake anyone. How can a stepmother be so cruel to a helpless girl? Veronica appears in the dark corridor, watching Sophia from the top of the stairs, her eyes gleaming with pure malice. She smirks as she takes photos with her cell phone, documenting every second of the humiliation. "If you ever tell your father, I will destroy you," she snarls at Sophia, her voice echoing through the empty mansion. The camera captures that cruel face, that smile that isn't a smile but a living threat. The biting scent of bleach burned Sophia's lungs, penetrating deep into her fragile chest. Her nails were so ruined that every movement sent sharp, agonizing pain up her arms. Her eyes were swollen shut from crying, yet she kept cleaning, always cleaning, driven by fear. The mansion around her felt like an empty palace, leaving only her and the oppressive silence of her servitude. "Nobody knows. Nobody can know that my stepmother treats me worse than an animal," she repeated, a desperate mantra. From the outside, the mansion looked like a palace of gold and glass, a symbol of wealth and family success. But inside, it was a prison of suffering, its walls concealing terrible secrets. Veronica posted fake photos on Instagram, smiling alongside Sophia. "Sophia and I, best friends." But the reality within those walls was entirely different, a hell disguised as heaven. She had built such a perfect lie that no one would ever suspect the rotten truth. The mansion was located in the city's wealthiest neighborhood, overlooking the ocean, with immaculate gardens. Sophia had lost her biological mother exactly 2 years prior in a devastating car accident. Her father, Robert, widowed and shattered by grief, married Veronica just 6 months later, far too hastily. From that cursed day forward, everything in Sophia's life changed for the worse, much, much worse. The happy girl she used to be vanished the day her stepmother walked through the front door. Veronica forces Sophia to work 18 hours a day, every single day, without a single day of rest. She steals her allowance, her gifts, her dignity, robbing her of her childhood. She threatens to reveal family secrets if Sophia dares to tell anyone the truth. Robert, her father, knows nothing because he is constantly traveling for work, attending international meetings. The stepmother's cruelty is happening now, in silence, while the world above sleeps. Sophia whispers to the invisible camera, tears streaming down her pale, victimized face. "If anyone could see me now, if they could truly see me, far from my stepmother's eyes, they would know this mansion isn't a palace, it's a hell ruled by a heartless woman. But she made me promise never to tell Dad, threatening to destroy everything. And today, finally, someone is going to find out. But what if it's too late to save my life?" It all began when Sophia's mother died on that rainy day 2 years ago, without warning. Robert was destroyed, completely annihilated by a grief that consumed every cell of his ravaged body. He felt lost, empty, unable to care for himself or his small, frightened daughter. Veronica entered his life like a guardian angel, appearing at his most vulnerable moments. He didn't see the malice hidden behind that perfect smile, behind those lying eyes. Rebecca was 42, a widow since 35, and had worked in the mansion for 8 years, tending to every detail. She had raised 2 children alone, facing extreme poverty, discrimination, and constant humiliation from society. She was observant by nature, kind to people, but incredibly courageous when it came to justice. She had always suspected something was terribly wrong with Sophia, inside that luxury mansion. She saw what no one else could see because she knew suffering intimately, up close. The mansion was built in 1995 and completely modernized in 2020 with expensive, cutting-edge technology. It boasted 8 spacious bedrooms, 5 bathrooms lined with Italian marble, and a gourmet kitchen equipped with everything imaginable. Security cameras were installed in every room, at the entrance, on the stairs, and in the main hall. Except in one specific location, Sophia's small room in the basement, where her stepmother concealed her. It was the only place where no one could record the truth of the hell her stepmother had built. Robert was 50, a widower, and worked as the CEO of a powerful multinational technology company. He traveled constantly for international meetings, leaving his daughter Sophia alone with her dangerous stepmother. He trusted Veronica blindly, believing she was the mother Sophia needed to heal. He loved his daughter deeply, but he didn't truly see her. He didn't notice the silent scream in her eyes. He was so trapped in the fog of his grief that he couldn't see the escalating abuse. Veronica was 38, Robert's second wife, and greedy to the extreme. She had married Robert purely for the money, the social status, and the access to the wealth he possessed and controlled. She deeply hated Sophia, seeing her as the obstacle to having everything for herself and controlling Robert. She controlled through fear, constant threats, and daily psychological humiliation of her stepdaughter. She was planning an inheritance, not motherhood. Her heart was as empty as a rotted grave. Rebecca began working as a cleaner in the mansion at the start of a hopeful new year. On her first day, she saw Sophia climbing the stairs with a massive bruise on her left arm. Veronica explained casually, "She fell down the stairs. She's just so clumsy. I can't control this stepdaughter." But Sophia trembled as she passed Veronica, her eyes filled with terror and absolute submission. Something wasn't right in that house. Something smelled of rot, of a dirty secret. Sophia's life changed completely after her father's marriage to Veronica, the cruel stepmother. She now worked as a servant in her own home, the house where she was born and had grown up happy. She slept in a tiny room in the basement, a cell without proper ventilation, where her stepmother locked her in. She ate only scraps, whatever Veronica didn't want, often food that was rotten and spoiled. And Rebecca would be the first person to realize the truth, the first to see Sophia's suffering. One night, Rebecca hears desperate screams coming from Sophia's room in the basement. She races down the dark stairs, her heart pounding, sensing the worst. She finds Veronica dragging Sophia across the floor by her hair with all her strength. "You lazy brat! You should be cleaning the kitchen right now," the stepmother screams, out of control. Rebecca witnesses the scene and feels the cold chill of reality. This is pure, systematic, deliberate abuse. Rebecca intervenes immediately, her courage overriding any fear she might feel. "Ma'am, that is abuse. You cannot do this to a child," she shouts at Veronica, her voice trembling. Veronica becomes furious, her eyes turning into twin volcanoes of rage and hatred. "If you tell Robert, I will destroy your career, your life. I will ruin everything you have," she threatens. Rebecca feels a pit in her stomach, but holds her ground, knowing she has uncovered something far bigger than she imagined. Veronica, now afraid of being exposed, begins to control everything with even more precision and cruelty. She forbids Rebecca from speaking to Sophia, separating the two whenever possible. She makes Sophia work at hours when Rebecca isn't in the mansion, hiding the evidence. She threatens to search Rebecca's belongings for false evidence if she doesn't keep quiet. Rebecca sees Sophia growing thinner, paler, her eyes vacant, and knows the situation is worsening daily. One night, Sophia leaves a note under Rebecca's pillow, written in small, trembling script. "Please, help me. She's killing me. "I can't take it anymore," Sophia writes in desperation. The note is signed with a broken heart drawn in red pen. Rebecca weeps as she reads the words, realizing Sophia trusts her above everyone else. It was time to act, to do something concrete, to save this girl from hell. Rebecca tries to tell Robert the truth about the abuse she witnesses daily. He denies it all angrily, as if she had insulted his wife. Veronica would never do that. Sophia is a troubled girl. She craves attention. She's dramatic, he replies coldly. Rebecca sees the denial in his eyes, sees how completely the stepmother has manipulated him. The victim's father was part of the problem, blinded by grief and the stepmother's manipulation. Rebecca feels a cold dread in her stomach, a tightness in her chest that nearly suffocates her. Her hands tremble with rage, frustration, and the overwhelming feeling of helplessness. No one would believe a cleaner over a respectable millionaire, she thinks desperately, but she makes a silent promise in that moment in a low voice. "I will prove everything. I will get proof. I will get evidence that no one, absolutely no one, can deny or ignore." Rebecca buys a hidden camera, disguised as a pen from a discreet electronics store. She places it strategically in Sophia's room, aimed directly at the door. "Now I'll film everything that wretched woman does to this innocent girl," she whispers to herself. Veronica passes the bedroom door with a threatening expression, as if sensing something has changed. But what Veronica doesn't know is that Rebecca has already begun her silent revenge, her fight for justice. In the first 3 days with the camera on, Rebecca discovers a hell far worse than she had imagined. The camera captures Veronica screaming at Sophia, pulling her hair with brutal force, forcing her to work until 3 a.m. while everyone else sleeps in the comfort of their beds. Sophia pleads to sleep, her exhausted body collapsing to the floor, but Veronica allows no rest. The reality was far more horrific than Rebecca had suspected in her worst nightmares. But on the 4th day, something much bigger is uncovered. Veronica confesses everything to her mother on the phone. Rebecca listens, hidden near the study. "Sophia is my slave now, completely under my control. She won't tell anyone because I have compromising photos of her," Veronica yells into the phone. "I've done things that would destroy her psychologically if they ever got out, so she'll stay quiet forever." Rebecca had pure gold in her hands now. She had the villain's confession, loud and clear. Robert begins to complain about Rebecca to Veronica, as if under hypnosis. "That cleaner is sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, getting too involved in our family life," he says with irritation. "She said horrible things about you, called you abusive and manipulative," Veronica lies. Veronica manipulates his mind further. "She just wants to destroy me because I'm young and beautiful." Rebecca watches Robert pull away, sees the father becoming an enemy without even realizing it. Rebecca thinks late at night, alone in her small room, "Do I confront them now, or do I protect Sophia?" If she confronts them now, Veronica will deny everything, and Rebecca will lose her job, abandoning Sophia to that hell. If she waits, Sophia continues to suffer every day worse, every night more brutal, every humiliation deeper. Her heart breaks seeing Sophia suffer. She wants to hold her and comfort her every second, but her strategic mind knows she needs more than suspicion. She needs irrefutable proof. Rebecca confides in Veronica's neighbor, believing she might be an ally. The neighbor promises to keep it secret, swears on the Bible she won't tell a soul. But the very next day, she goes straight to Veronica and tells her everything about Rebecca's plan. Veronica becomes furious and tightens her control, becoming even more vigilant and violent. Rebecca learned a bitter lesson: trust no one. Fight alone. Trust only herself. If I come forward now, Veronica will destroy the evidence and get rid of everything, Rebecca thinks strategically. If I wait too long, Sophia could suffer permanent consequences. She might do something irreversible to herself. Rebecca decides to make an anonymous call to the police describing the abuse, but she hangs up at the last second, knowing she doesn't have enough proof. It would be her word against theirs. She needed much more: videos, audio, witnesses, medical documentation, everything. Rebecca receives a text from Sophia that forces her to make a final, definitive decision. "She hit me with the broom handle today. My whole arm is purple. It hurts so much," Sophia writes. "If you don't help me soon, I think I'm going to do something terrible. I think I'm going to try to kill myself." Rebecca understands with crystal clarity. It is now or never. The coming week is decisive. The next week would be the week everything changes. Everything was about to be turned upside down. Sophia, in complete desperation and on the verge of a mental breakdown, finally confesses everything to Rebecca through floods of tears. "She raped my dog right in front of me, Rebecca. She did that right in front of me," Sophia screams between sobs. "She said she would do the same to me if I told Dad. She said she would violate me if I opened my mouth. Rebecca, I can't take it anymore. I want to die. I would rather be dead than live one more day with her." Rebecca sees the absolute horror in the eyes of the 16-year-old girl. She sees a completely broken soul. Rebecca takes Sophia to a secret appointment with a doctor friend, someone who can document everything. The doctor examines Sophia and finds bruises in various stages of healing all over her fragile body. "This isn't an accident. This is systematic, prolonged, deliberate abuse," the doctor confirms, her expression grim. Sophia needs urgent protection and immediate psychological counseling before it is too late. Rebecca now has a professional ally, someone who can provide irrefutable medical reports. Rebecca receives an unexpected call from a former housekeeper who used to work at the mansion. "It's me, Marina. I worked there for 3 years. Veronica did the same thing to my daughter," Marina confesses. "She exploited and abused her, and then fired me when she found out I was documenting everything. I have documents, photos, records of it all. I want you to know Sophia is not the first victim." Rebecca discovers that Sophia is just one in a series of victims, that this stepmother is a habitual predator. Sophia finally finds the courage to confront her father, though she is trembling with fear. "Daddy, Veronica hits me every day. She forces me to work like a slave," she confesses, her voice weak. "I sleep in the basement. I don't eat properly. She steals my money. She humiliates me constantly." "Daddy, I can't take it anymore. She's going to kill me if you don't do something. Please, believe me." Robert turns pale, his world crashing down at his feet, finally seeing the truth he had ignored for so long. An ex-employee of Veronica's, fired years ago, shows up with documents in hand. "She did the same thing to the daughters of 2 previous clients she dated," the ex-employee reveals. "She destroyed them psychologically, and no one believed them at the time because she is so manipulative and convincing. But this time we have concrete proof. We have documentation, multiple witnesses, and hard evidence. The web of Veronica's victims is far larger than anyone had imagined." Rebecca, Sophia, the doctor, Marina, the other ex-employee, and a detective meet secretly at Rebecca's home. They meticulously organize every video, photo, audio recording, testimony, and medical document. They create a complete timeline of the abuse, from Veronica's arrival to the present day. They invite Robert to a final meeting at the mansion, where the entire truth will be exposed. This time, there is no denying the truth. There is no way Veronica can escape this. Robert receives the invitation for the emergency meeting at the mansion, unaware of what awaits him. Veronica grows nervous, sensing that something is terribly wrong. Next Saturday, the entire truth will come out, irreversibly and explosively. No one will leave this mansion without knowing that Veronica is a monster, a predator, and a criminal. Justice will finally be served. The truth will finally triumph over the lies. Everyone is gathered in the mansion's living room on that fateful Saturday, the day that will change everything. Rebecca, Sophia, the doctor, Marina, the ex-employee, a detective, and 2 police officers stand side by side. Veronica walks in confidently, smiling, completely ignorant of what is about to happen. "What is all this? Why are so many people here?" she asks, her voice feigned, still manipulative. "A surprise for you, dear. One you've deserved for a long time," Robert replies coldly. Veronica laughs confidently. "He's never going to kick me out. I'm married to the richest man in the city. You're going to believe a cleaner and a troubled little girl over me. Over my word." Sophia is a compulsive liar. She always has been. She just wants attention, even negative attention. This is a conspiracy, an attempt to destroy me because you're all jealous of my success. But her confidence is exactly what Rebecca had planned for. She is walking straight into the trap. Rebecca connects the laptop to the mansion's giant plasma television, her fingers steady. The video begins. Veronica screaming at Sophia, pulling her hair with brutal force. Veronica forcing Sophia to clean until she bleeds, calling her a parasite and worthless trash. The audio captures every insult, every threat, every moment of pure, deliberate cruelty. Robert's face drains of all color, his eyes filling with tears of regret and rage. Veronica screams, "This is manipulated. She faked all of this. It's a deep fake, computer-generated. You can do anything with modern technology. This proves nothing." But her voice is trembling. She's breaking out in a cold sweat, her confidence collapsing like a house of cards. The police officers exchange a look, recognizing the classic signs of a cornered criminal. No one believes her lies anymore. The truth has finally triumphed. Sophia stands, trembling but resolved, ready to finally speak her truth. "Daddy, she hit me. She forced me to work like a slave. She humiliated me every single day," Sophia confesses. "She stole my childhood, my safety, my future, all while you were traveling for work. I slept in the basement while she slept in your bed, Daddy. I starved while she ate gourmet meals." Sophia's voice is small, but the truth she speaks is massive, impossible to ignore. The police officers approach Veronica. "Veronica, you are under arrest for child abuse and psychological torture. You are under arrest for exploitation of a minor, for blackmail, and for felony child endangerment." Veronica tries to bolt, desperate, but is immediately restrained by the officers. "Take her away now! Get her out of my sight!" Robert roars, his voice filled with hatred. The camera captures Veronica being forced into the police car, desperate, disbelieving, and utterly defeated. Robert looks at Veronica with pure hatred, with the rage of a father who discovered the truth far too late. "Get out of my house now! I never want to see your face again as long as I live," he screams. "You destroyed my daughter's life. You destroyed my family's trust. You are a monster. You deceived a vulnerable widower, and you sacrificed an innocent girl on the altar of your hatred." Veronica leaves the mansion for good, a shell of a woman completely unmasked. Veronica is arrested and prosecuted for child abuse, psychological torture, and the exploitation of a minor. The media discovers the full story, and she becomes a meme on social media, symbol of evil. The headlines read, "Cruel stepmother arrested for exploiting millionaire's daughter in luxury mansion." Her friends vanish, her reputation is destroyed forever, her name cursed in every conversation. Everything she had built with lies and manipulation collapsed completely in a single night of justice. Rebecca is recognized and promoted by Robert to head of the mansion's entire household staff. "You saved my daughter. You are an angel, a truly good person," Robert says with infinite gratitude. Robert offers full scholarships for Rebecca's 2 children to attend private universities. The media interviews Rebecca, calling her the Woman of Courage of the Year, a true heroine. But Rebecca knows the real prize is Sophia, alive, free, and finally safe. Sophia begins intensive therapy with a specialized psychologist. With her father's full and unconditional support, "Daddy will never let you suffer again. I promise you with all my soul," Robert vows to Sophia. "I love you, sweetheart. I'm so deeply sorry I didn't see the truth sooner. I'm sorry I was so blind." Sophia slowly begins to smile again, returns to school, and starts to dream of a future. The girl who died the day Veronica arrived could finally live again, reborn. Robert looks at Rebecca with an admiration that goes far beyond professional gratitude. He invites her to dinner at an exquisite restaurant by the sea, an elegant and secluded spot. "I want to get to know you better, beyond your extraordinary dedication, beyond what you did for my daughter." Rebecca feels her hands tremble and her heart race, but she accepts with a genuine smile. Fate had united them through an act of courage, and now it could become something much deeper and more real. Rebecca and Robert begin a respectful, genuine relationship built on mutual respect. Sophia hugs Rebecca tightly. "You're my real mom now. You will always be my mom." Rebecca's children gain a loving father figure and a sister whom they love with all their hearts. The mansion that was once a hell of suffering becomes a true home, filled with love and laughter. We are a real family now, united by genuine love, overcoming the trauma together. Robert reflects deeply on his life, his mistakes, and the truth that nearly cost his daughter her life. The worth of a person isn't in money, beauty, or the social status they pretend to have. It's in true courage, genuine compassion, in the kindness that comes from a pure heart. Rebecca taught me that wealth without a heart is empty. It's a palace that houses a hell. We all learn to recognize true love, the kind that saves lives and rebuilds souls. Sophia looks directly into the camera, her eyes shining with renewed hope. "What do you think? Did Veronica get exactly what she deserved? Do you think justice was served? Do you know anyone in this situation? Someone suffering abuse in silence, guarding terrible secrets? Never let someone suffer in silence. The truth always triumphs. Justice always comes. Always. If you watched this story and cried, if your heart ached, share this. This saves real lives."